As you prepare to step back into your everyday life, whether you've already returned or you're still finding your way, I want to give you 5 simple reminders. These are powerful little triggers that helped me personally when I was starting from nothing. You see, some of you know my story. I was kicked out of my house at 17. My mother, a strong but troubled woman, battled alcohol and prescription drugs. On Christmas Eve, she kicked my father out, and then kicked me out too, because she thought I'd taken his side. Suddenly, I was alone. I had nothing but my 1960 Volkswagen, a part-time janitor job, earning $40.00 a week, and a lot of uncertainty. It was painful. My younger brother was 5, my sister 7, and I loved them deeply. But now I was separated from them, wandering in the rain, questioning what I'd do with my life. Still in high school, homeless, and heartbroken, I ended up sleeping on a mountaintop. Of course, it rained that night. The next day, a friend's family allowed me to stay in their laundry room. I was so depressed. I don't know if you've ever been in a place so dark that you wonder why you're even here. That's where I was. But something shifted, and it began with feeding my mind. About a year earlier, I had attended a seminar by Jim Rohn, a man who later became one of my greatest mentors. At that seminar, Jim emphasized one core principle. You have to feed your mind. Because if you don't intentionally feed it, the world will feed it for you, and usually not with empowering things. So even though I was broke, I scraped together what little change I had, got on a bus, and traveled an hour to a bookstore I'd visited once before. I couldn't afford to buy a book, but I sat there reading as much as I could. That day I picked up a book called The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol. That book told me something life-changing. Whatever you consistently put in your mind becomes your experience of life. So I went back to that tiny laundry room, looked at the mirror, and following the book's advice, wrote my goals directly on it with soap. Every day I stared into my own eyes in that mirror and read those goals aloud. I even made little signs that said things like, "Only a loser stays depressed." Now, that's not exactly true. Depression is real, but I needed a trigger, a belief strong enough to break the pattern. And slowly, I started climbing out of that pit. I did 5 key things back then, and I've returned to these 5 simple practices many times. Whether it was when I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, when I buried 4 fathers and my mother within 18 months, or during the 2008 financial crash. I used them again at the start of the pandemic. No matter what stage of life you're in, these 5 steps can help you transform. The first step, stand guard at the door of your mind. I learned this from Jim Rohn. I remember telling him, "I'm frustrated, I'm working so hard, but nothing's changing." He looked at me and asked, "Tony, who are you spending time with? What are you reading? Who are you talking to?" At the time, I was isolated, discouraged. Then he gave me this metaphor. What happens if your worst enemy drops sugar in your coffee? I said, "You'd have sweet coffee?" He smiled. "But what if your best friend accidentally drops 1 drop of strychnine?" I answered, "You'd be dead." You have the third choice: either enjoy the happiness of life or the trooper and strychnine. Watch your coffee. In other words, guard your mind fiercely. Today we live in a world of non-stop media. Their job isn't to inform you, it's to get your attention. Fear sells. Outrage sells. Every headline is clickbait. So if you don't intentionally limit what enters your mind, you'll be pulled into a vortex of fear and negativity. Jim told me, every day, read at least 30 minutes. Not what pops up on your phone. Not random headlines. Seek out ideas. Pursue great thoughts. Because great ideas don't interrupt you, you have to chase them. He told me if you let learning lead to knowledge, you become a fool. But if you let learning lead to action, you change your life. That's why I devoured books, seminars, audio tapes, anything I could find. I turned my car into a university on wheels. Back then, I'd save every penny I had to buy cassette tapes from a tiny shop in downtown LA. I couldn't afford it, but I realized I couldn't afford not to. And here's what I discovered. Progress equals happiness. It doesn't matter if you achieve everything, you'll still feel empty if you're not growing. We're not designed to sit back and coast. We're built to grow, to stretch, to contribute. Every day you feed your mind, you take a step forward. Every day you learn, you arm yourself with new tools to help yourself and others. And the more you grow, the more you have to give. So if you're in a tough season, or if you just want to reach that next level, start here. Every day, feed your mind. Every day, stand guard at the door of your mind and watch how your life begins to change. Let me tell you something else, my friend. Beyond feeding your mind, you must strengthen your body every single day. Your body is not separate from your emotions. Your physiology is the fastest way to change your psychology. I learned that back then when I had nothing. I didn't have access to fancy gyms, but I decided every morning I'd move. I'd run, I'd jump, I'd breathe deeply. I discovered that if I could put my body into a peak state, it would change my mind too. Emotion is created by motion. If you sit slouched over, breathing shallow, telling yourself negative stories, you'll feel depressed. But if you stand tall, breathe with power, move with intensity, your emotions shift, your confidence grows. Every day I'd make myself move even when I didn't want to, especially when I didn't want to. Because I learned the secret, discipline equals freedom. The more I disciplined my body, the freer my mind became. And over the years, I've worked with millions of people, and I've seen the same thing. Those who let their body deteriorate, let their dreams deteriorate. Energy is life. You must protect and amplify your energy. So the second key after feeding your mind is strengthening your body daily, in whatever way you can. Even if it's just a walk, even if it's stretching, even if it's 10 push-ups, move your body. Train it. Because a strong body gives birth to a strong mind. And once you feed your mind and strengthen your body, the third key is this: find a role model. Find someone who's achieved what you want to achieve. Someone who's living the life you dream of. Because success leaves clues, my friend. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can compress decades into days by learning from others. That's what I did. I sought out mentors, whether in person or through their books, their tapes, their seminars. I absorbed their wisdom. I modeled their strategies. I studied what they read, how they spoke, how they carried themselves, what habits they practiced. See, you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you tolerate. And when you have a role model, you raise your standards. You stop tolerating mediocrity. You stop settling. You say, if they can do it, so can I. And you start thinking bigger, playing bigger, becoming bigger. Your vision expands, your expectations expand, and life rises to meet you at your new level. That's the power of a role model. That's the power of proximity. You become who you surround yourself with, even if those people are books and videos at first. And here's the fourth key, and this one's crucial. Take massive action. Feed your mind, strengthen your body, find a role model. But if you don't act, nothing changes. You must act even when you're afraid. You must act even when it's imperfect. You must act when you don't feel ready. Because the secret is, I remember when I was young, terrified, no money, no certainty, no connections. But I decided I'd rather try and fail than live with regrets. I'd rather take a shot and miss than never take the shot at all. And every time I acted, I learned. Every time I acted, I got feedback. Every time I acted, I grew stronger. You can read all the books in the world, listen to every podcast, attend every seminar. But unless you execute, you're just entertaining yourself. Transformation doesn't happen in the mind alone. It happens through action. Massive, relentless, courageous action. And finally, the fifth key, the one that ties it all together: give more than you expect to receive. Give love, give kindness, give your time, give your energy, give your resources. Life supports what supports life. I discovered that the more I gave, the more fulfilled I felt. And paradoxically, the more I gave, the more abundance flowed back to me. Not always immediately, not always in the way I expected, but life has a way of rewarding those who give without keeping score. When you live to contribute, you never run out of purpose. You never run out of energy. You never wake up asking, why am I here? Because you know you're here to grow and you're here to give. And when you live that way, fear diminishes, scarcity dissolves, limitation fades. You tap into a force greater than yourself. And that's when the magic happens. That's when life opens doors you never imagined possible. So, my friend, as you step forward into your life, whether you're just starting over or climbing to the next level, remember these 5 keys. Feed your mind every day. Strengthen your body every day. Find role models who inspire you. Take massive action without waiting for perfection. And give more than you expect to receive. If you make these your daily practice, I promise you, your life will never be the same again. You will rise, you will overcome, you will inspire others, and one day you'll look back and realize the hardest moments were the moments that shaped you into the champion you've become. So stand guard at the door of your mind. Protect it, nourish it, strengthen it, and then unleash it upon the world. Because the world needs you at your strongest, your boldest, your most courageous. The world needs your light. And if no one's told you lately, I believe in you. I see the greatness inside you. It's time to unleash it. It's time to live it. It's time to share it. Let's go make life magnificent.